I started a life group in September of 2019 that transitioned into a home church in March of 2022. During that time also, I started to volunteer at a place called the Our Home. It's a residential treatment facility in Parkston that treats kids ages 12 to 17. They are working through some type of trauma or abuse that has happened in their life. And so I meet with them on a weekly basis and just talk about whatever they want to talk about related to spirituality, so I can help them understand that there is a God that loves them and that can help them through things. In addition to that, then, I saw a need to grow relationships further in Parkston, and I launched a Fellowship of Christian Athletes in the school in September of 2022. And all of that has now led up to launching an official Celebrate Church plant on Mother's Day, May 14th of 2023.
2 years ago, I was an angry person. I was extremely hurt. My son passed away and I didn't know why. My pastor, he introduced me to Shelly, and at first I was hesitant, and I was still at a point in my life that I was kind of judgmental and I was a little scared. And she told me about the courses, and I was like, all right, like, we can try this. It's not, I'm already doing everything I can, but we'll try this. And during these classes, I've learned I hadn't even scratched the surface of who God wanted me to be. It'll change your life. It'll change your thinking. It'll change your heart. You will become a better person. You'll become a better parent or a friend or a spouse. You'll just become better. God wants you to dive into Him just like He's dived into you. He doesn't ever leave you. So if you can chase Him just a tenth of the amount He chases you, He's gonna change your life just like He's changed mine. And every night before I go to sleep, I cuddle every one of my babies and I look up and I tell them thanks for at least letting me meet Him. And I know that every night when I go to bed, all 5 of my kids, they're there with me, just like God is. He'll never leave me.
We chose Kingdom Kids because it was like the perfect opportunity. God kind of just brought it on our hearts when we were looking for preschool, and all of a sudden we brought up preschool at church, so it kind of worked out perfectly. We knew our church has had a great impact on us, so we just decided it would be a great opportunity for Landon.
If somebody's considering Kingdom Kids in preschool, I'd say this is the best option for you, especially within the moral values of being in a Wesleyan church and following Christ. One of the best things about this is they actually do classes, and the teachers are attending classes along with us. And the fact that they're continuing to learn and then they're teaching our children, I think is huge. Just the amount of love they show them, this is a great place to grow children.
If I was to encourage somebody and ask them to step out and do that, to be a mentor, tell them not to get too concerned about what it is you think you're bringing to the table. What you have to bring to the table is probably more important. But just let the Spirit lead you. Let the words and the questions of that young person give you direction. Find out what's important to them. They'll give you subtle hints if they don't say it directly. More than once, this young man has said to me, I wish my friends had mentors. My friends have told me how lucky I am to have a mentor. So it's not whether, I have never been asked what qualifies me to be a mentor by him. But he has more than once told me he's really glad I'm his mentor. How can you not want to keep going? Because that's really important to him. I intend to be there on graduation.
I came back to Sioux Falls in the winter of 2020, and I wasn't going to church, and my mom invited me, and I reluctantly came and started getting involved, and I had a great experience. And through that, I started taking the classes. I was asked to join a life group, and before I knew it, I'm on the ground in Africa. And once we were on the ground, you got to see the faith in people probably greater faith than what I think a lot of us show here in America. And these are people who are, many of them are living in poverty, and they are on fire for Jesus. I wanted a little bit of what they had, and they want so much of what we had. As I look back and I think about that experience, it's something that I want to continue in. It's something that I want to see us do more and pull more members of our church in, because the mission field is everywhere, and there's so much need in Africa, and there's so much need in Liberia, and we have so much to be grateful for here. And when you go on a trip like that, it changes you. And so there's so much to learn, and I would just encourage anyone who is looking to deepen their faith, to get more involved, to be part of something bigger than themselves, join the team and with World Hope and celebrate and come along.
The church is really understanding that the marriage is a covenant. So that's a divine order from God. And because of that, the church is putting the emphasis on that unit, which is the family, which is the marriage. And doing that, we're going to reap instant blessings, but also future blessings for many generations to come. And because of that, I truly encourage people who are not presently involved in the marriage ministry to do that, whether be as active participant or just coming to discover what that's all about. It would be wonderful.
We all have something to give, whether we have a strong marriage or marriage is struggling. God takes it all and use it for His glory. So we just have to be willing to just step out there in faith and just let God use us whichever way He can. But the date night is the way to go, though. That's how we got started with this ministry. So if you want to get involved, enjoy some good food, good company, I would say hit up one of the date nights.
One of the ways that I got drawn into youth is from my past. I figured that maybe that instead of taking, I could give back in some way, shape, or form. And I thought, what better way than to pour into some youth group kids that might be struggling with the same thing that I struggled with. And that's where Lewis comes into the picture. I was just drawn to the kid. He was kind of drawn to me, it seemed like, and we just connected, and the relationship is great.
Yeah, we connected very well, and that's probably because my dad had some of the same problems, and I look forward to being able to just sit and listen to the music, hang out with friends, worship Jesus, and I just love bringing people to church.
I would say just come and try it. Come and give it a whirl, and pray about it first, of course, and just ask the Lord to show up and to show you where it is you wanna be serving, and just come and try it. Just come and try it, and once you start, and you got to give it a little bit too. You can't just come one time and say, "Yep, it's not for me." You got to give it a little bit and build some of them relationships. And once you start getting them connections with the kids, is when everything changes.